is a meal of bread and wine representing Jesus' body and blood that Christians take together regularly in churches and houses and many other places all over the world. I myself have joined Christians as far away as Canada and Brazil in sharing this meal. But why is it so special to Christians? Well, I asked some Christians why communion is important to them. So have a listen to what they have to say.
Sharing communion is really important for me as a time to just step back and remember what Jesus did for me by dying on the cross. And I love to do that in community with other people, maybe from my church or my family. I feel like it brings us closer to each other and closer to God.
Sharing communion together is really important to me because it's one of the last things that Jesus did with his disciples before he died. And so when we take it together, we're remembering not only the price that Jesus paid, that his body was broken like the bread and his blood was spilt like the wine, but we're also remembering the effect of what that price is paid for. So because of the price that he paid, we can have a new and full relationship with God. And so communion is really important to me because we're remembering the price that Jesus paid and how high it was, but we're also remembering the hope that it gives us.
There's 3 reasons why having communion is important to me. First one is because it reminds me of God's great love for me. The second one, it reminds me that I have an intimate relationship with God and that I can come to him with anything and just as I am. And the third one, it reminds me when I have it with other Christians that we are a family, that we are one because of God. And that gives me great joy and hope.
Why is it important for me to celebrate communion as a Christian? 2 reasons. Number 1, it reminds me of the greatest moment in human history, when Jesus died on the cross for my sin. It means that he took on himself the guilt that I would feel, the shame that I would feel, and he took upon himself the penalty for the stuff that I've done wrong. And it means that I can live free, not weighed down by the expectations and the burdens of the world, but I can love him freely. That's irreplaceable. Number 2, we share communion as a church. We do it together. And when we do that, it reminds us that we're not on our own, that we are with a bunch of other people with the same beliefs as us who all want to worship God and who want to live a life in freedom. So communion to me is massively important because it reminds me why I'm free. It's because of Jesus, and it reminds me that I'm not on my own, that there's other people who are walking life with me.
So, I hope you noticed a clear theme there. All of them spoke about remembering or being reminded of something. For Ellie and Simeon, it was a reminder of what Jesus did on the cross, the price that he paid. For Marta, it was about God's love. And for Andrew, it was a reminder of why he believes he is free. And that all ties in with what Jesus said, the words recorded in the Bible when he last took that meal with his disciples. He said, "Do this to remember me." It was also, though, a reminder for all of them that when they do that meal, they share that meal together with other Christians, that they are united. Christians believe that they are one family, God's family. And that is what makes that meal of communion or the Eucharist so special.